Yes, I believe it's 14. Hey, guys. You know, considering that I didn't rearrange the cameras, it was pretty close. Pretty close to being correct. Oh my god. What did you say, Glimo, just before? Something about falling off or dropping off? Damn, I got confused when I saw the cameras, and I had a intro comment that was like, speaking of never falling off, but then I literally fell off just now. The
looks like you fell off, bro.
Yeah, fell off. Something about half-wave rectifiers. I could have worked it into a joke. Glimo, thanks for that 58-month subscription streak. This guy's a lunatic here, guys. And he did it live so that you could watch it. He wanted you to know. Tell Cersei it was me. All right, now James is doing it too. Jesus.
Yeah, nowhere near as long, only 53 months.
You think that 53 months is considerably less than... It's less than... slightly more than 10%.
But I when I joined today, for some reason, I got like another warning about this language containing, you know, profanity and drug use and violence.
Yeah, so did I.
I highlighted all of that because I feel like it's very relevant for this stream. Almost certainly all of those things will happen here. Just get out of the way. Fuck, motherfuck. Yeah, this is the new Twitch policy, is that you have to individually click all the things that are relevant to each stream, and you will be notified every time. And if you switch games and switch qualifiers, it will stop everyone who's currently watching and force them to click to redo it. But this is the world of advertising safety that we live in now. So, you know, hey, we just spent 2 minutes doing an intro. Hate that. This is King Arthur Pendragon 5.2, the Great Pendragon Campaign, episode 14. I apologize that we missed last week. I was having a real shitty problem.
Hey, this is a show you can talk about it on, apparently, so...
That's true, but now I have Tamagotchi whenever I want to listen to people be like, oh, shoot, we can't get information out of them. I guess we better torture them graphically. Maybe it's because they're new D&D players, but boy, do they really want to torture people. And I'm like, whoa. You literally have an angelic spirit in your party. Are you sure you want to torture this man?
That's a classic new D&D player thing. Is
we should torture him?
We need information out of this guy. Let's torture him. Instead of going, we need information out of it. All right, let's give him some incentive.
Make a deal.
Yeah,
three quarters of the stats on my sheet are for violence, so obviously that's what I'm all about.
Yeah, for sure. It says here that I rolled this plus this to stick a sword into somebody, but I don't have anything here for talking to people.
My favorite part about that group so far is how they have a dedicated face. They let her talk 90% of the time, and then when they want to make a deal with somebody, they like sub the job out and are shocked when I'm like, well, you're the one that's talking to this guy. I'm gonna need you to roll. He's like, but I have a -1, and I'm like,
that's like when Luigi Bowser would just let
Luigi Bowser
just let Cavalry do all the talking and went like,
hey, okay. I did closing. I did close from time to time. Yeah,
that's true.
Listen, when it came to shooting people, I let Cavalry do all that work too.
Welcome to the intro hour 2, folks.
You got me, motherfucker. Shouldn't have let this get so far off course. All right, so Kendric.
Yes.
I need you to roll a d6 to decide your fate.
Okay. Oh, great.
Motherfucker. Who hates you? Who?
Amazing.
I don't understand. How are you so bad at rolling?
I mean, you know.
All right.
It was the table was 1 to 5. 1 to 5, you die. 6, you die horribly.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let me make sure this is fitted correctly. All right. So, according to this chart, beep bop boop a doop bop. Oh my God, Spoon, you're in so much trouble.
I mean, it's not terrible, right? It's not like it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
But it's not awful.
I believe that you are not mounted and your opponent is mounted, which
correct.
Starting off makes your life
that's
very bad.
That's the worst part. Like,
right.
That's the worst part.
This guy's gonna pop off his passion.
Okay.
It should be noted that he has a 16 plus, so if he fails hard. He does not fail hard, so now you're in a lot more danger.
Yeah.
The person riding towards you is sword out. You know, I think that you see that they have no lances left. Like, to get to where they are right now, the center of the camp, Maddox tents, they have to have charged for quite a while to get here. They are charging down on you. They've got a like heraldry or an emblem on their chests, on a tabard, chainmail, sword, and they see many young wolves running out who are various forms of unclothed and unarmed. And then they see you and they turn their horse, so their horse starts doing like a crescent turn until it finally can pull itself around to face you, rears up to let you know that you're about to get challenged, and then runs you down. Like, you are the threat here. This guy and his companions can clean up on everybody else, but someone who's competent in the middle of the night in an emergency, that's who you have to kill first.
So he goes, this guy's a threat.
Yeah,
this dude knew enough to put on armor and like have his squire nearby. He can
run everybody else down when you're dead.
Sure, exactly.
They're running around with chickens with their heads cut off. All right.
Yeah.
So his sword skill is now a 26 plus 5 for being mounted. For
so he's in the 31. Yep.
Yeah. You have a -5.
Yeah. Yep. I have a -5. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to fight defensively.
Okay.
And I'm also going to call on a passion.
Very well.
I'm going to call on Loyalty Lord. I believe the first thing I said to Hayden when we went out of the tent was we have to find Earl Roderick.
Okay. Sounds like a good dialogue to position yourself for this role.
And that is a critical. That is a critical hit. So I now have a +10, I believe.
Sure. Go ahead and mark that passion up, by the way.
Yep.
So I believe you check it, and you also increase it by 1.
Yeah, and it goes up by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I am now at a +20 to this roll, which puts me at a 35, -5 at a 30.
Well. So the tables have turned.
And I believe this passion will last for the whole scene, right? That's good.
Yes,
with mace.
With mace, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You ride at each other. Let's roll.
Man, that was huge.
So at a 31, that is only a 19 for me, I believe.
So I critical, but I was fighting defensively. I don't do any damage.
Correct. I mean, that's the reason your number's so high, is because you're adding plus 10.
It's because I'm adding +10 from both my passion and my fighting defensively.
Sure.
You rolled a 17. You rolled a 17 on the dice. That would have been a crit either way.
Yeah.
He continues riding past you. Roll a d6.
Yeah. So because I think that's what the what it is I like he. You know, this guy's important. Kendric's like, I'm not fucking with this dude. We need to get out of here.
What do we got here on this here die? Hold on.
I got a 4.
Okay. As another knight begins charging at you, you can hear someone shouting, and in the chaos of it all, you recognize the voice of this person shouting. Surely not the only person, but you recognize Prince Maddox shouting, "Rally to the banner," over and over again. And you can see his form, battered, falling back, shadowed by the light of burning tents, as Knights are running past, throwing torches over their heads towards tents. Supplies are on fire. I mean, whatever happens today, this will be a horrific loss. So many young wolves, some of the highest ranked nobles are young nobles, it should be noted, are being taken out left and right beyond you. But you don't have any time to think about that because you are being attacked by another knight. So it is another knight on horseback charging at you. No passion this time.
Yep. I will not fight defensively this time and try and do some damage.
Okay, let's roll.
That is an 18 total.
That is a 9, so you will hit.
Yep. So he has chainmail on as armor.
Yes, and shield.
Yep. So 23 points of damage.
Okay. This guy gets unhorsed. Just in the quick way we've been doing it, I'd like you to check Squire to see if your Squire can capture them while they're down. I mean, they're not technically hurt enough for it to matter, but, you know.
No, he fails. He fails the capture. Can I have him, like, can I try and corral this horse?
I think that what happens is this guy gets back on his horse. You know, he
gets
back knocked off the
away.
horse, and then, yeah, like, he gets back up and he charges after the horse. I mean, he's looking around at a bunch of people being slaughtered on the ground, and he's like, I'm getting back on that horse. You know what they say, you got to get back on the horse. Roll a d6.
All right. Another 4.
Okay. You see Prince Matic is now hand to hand with Duke Gorlow, who is mounted. The Duke is shouting, "Stand aside! Send me your father!" And Matic is continuously shouting, "Rally! Rally to the banner!" Would you like to run over and try to help the prince, or do you want to engage the knight who is currently charging you?
Shit. I will. Oh man. I'll run towards the banner.
Okay. You are getting a free shot on you then.
Yep.
You turn, you abandon your fight to go to save the prince. And you are stabbed in the back.
Yep.
It won't hurt that bad, but it will hurt. You don't get shield. It doesn't hurt you at all, actually. I tried to hide that up. It did not work.
Yeah, so it glances off of chainmail.
I mean, I feel like he just rides by you and like goes for a plunging thrust, and it just deflects off your shoulder, and you kind of stumble for a moment as you're running. You make your way towards Matic, and as you run into the edge of like the fire's proper light, you watch as the Duke sends the prince's sword flying. The sword breaks in half. The two pieces go in different directions, and then the Duke continues the slash, comes down, reverses the sword in his hand, two-handed stabs the prince in the chest. The prince stops crying out. He just kind of, his left arm doesn't seem to be working. He just reaches up to try to pull the thing in his chest out. Blood just pouring out of his mouth. His hand is slipping on his own blood, trying to pull the weapon from his chest as he collapses on the ground. Roll a d6.
Okay. 6.
You have a choice. You can go after the Duke, who is shouting, "Where is the king? Send me the king!" or you can face another knight who is coming to protect Gorlo, essentially.
I will go after the Duke, because I think when Kendric sees the prince get stabbed, he just shouts, he calls out Maddox's name, and not like berserker rage, but is rushing the Duke.
Okay. His sword skill is 33 right now.
Yep.
His sword is in the chest of the Prince Maddox. You're still sure you want to go forward?
Yes, I am sure.
Okay. Make your attack.
He still gets the. I still get the -5 because he's mounted, though.
Correct.
Okay. It's a success.
Okay.
Do I hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's undefended because he's got the sword stuck in the prince.
28 points of damage.
Well, well, well. Well, well, well. So let's see here. Let me get my calculator out. Some calculations. What is my man's horseback?
Well, first of all, what's his size, or what's his knockdown?
Size is 8. He's old as fuck.
Then he's automatically unhorsed.
He is automatically. It's size 56 years old.
Yeah.
Just tossed from the source. 28 is not, however, enough to. Actually, wound. It is enough to instantly slay him.
Is it?
Yes.
I mean,
it doesn't full kill him, but it is enough to get him into the unconscious danger of dying. He has 20 hit points.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
so
all right.
He has 2 hit points right now.
Yeah.
He's a 56-year-old man with 2 hit points on a battlefield. I think it's fair to say that he is functionally dead at this point.
How do you feel putting up an old man, Spoon?
I mean, that old man just killed the prince. So.
God damn it! If Kendric wasn't already the glory leader, now he killed Gorlo. Jesus.
I want to ask AP. Did you deliberately tone down the violence on Maddox, the gore, and that's as described in the book from memory?
I feel like I described it correctly.
I think in the book he cuts him from the neck through to the chest. It's like a downward blow.
I said it was stuck in his chest.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't exact enough for GrimDarkJames. This is the problem with playing with people who've done this before. They're like that, especially with Encyclopedia James over here. He's just like, well, that wasn't exactly what happened.
I'm highly
I played it up with
fact.
him reaching for the bloody thing, and you're like, well, really, it was more of like a this, and I was like, blah.
I'm very conscious of the fact that I've played this campaign and know there's actually a paragraph where it says you should totally kill half the group here to make this scene feel important.
Yeah. Yeah. Does that seem like something I would do? Okay. I'm just making a note here.
Boy, that critical success, on the passion, really fucking came through for me tonight.
Yeah. More knights begin arriving while Gorlo's bodyguards are gathering to retrieve his body. A overwhelming series of knights on your side. I mean, it doesn't matter how many barefoot, tired knights there are, because eventually they will overwhelm a handful of riders. I will say this. You have the option of simply butchering Gorlo while he's down or attempting to knock a bodyguard out.
So I've he's unconscious. He's not getting up. Somebody's gonna have to come rescue him.
He will almost certainly die of his wounds.
So basically, what I'm asking is, am I the guy that's gonna be remembered as killing two?
If you want the glory, I'm gonna need you to stab him some more. Otherwise, it's gonna go to a bunch of different people.
Yeah. So I think also in the moment, Like Kendric's pretty sure that Maddox just got killed, and I don't know.
Oh, there's no way Maddox's alive. I mean, Maddox is 100% dead.
I mean, he has 3 feet of steel sticking out of his chest. So, and I mean, I think not only does Kendric see this as a death of Maddox, but it's also, I mean, because he's kind of tied, not necessarily tied his horse to Maddox's cart, but he has definitely been in Maddox's pocket in the last couple of years. So this is more than just the death of a prince for him. So I think he is going to finish off Gorlo.
Okay, roll a d6.
6.
Oh my god, you keep doing this to yourself. All right, so this guy gets a free shot on you from behind. You execute Gorlo. There's no need to make a roll.
Sure.
I will give you the option of just describing how you do it if you want to be like, press R2 to enter cinematic mode.
No, I mean, I think
murder Gorlo.
He just pulps Gorlo's chest with his mace.
It's a hit, not a critical, even with all of his bonuses.
Even with the passion, yeah.
Hitting you in the back for 5d6.
This one might sting.
Nope, not really.
Yeah.
4 points of damage. It's not even enough to test for knockdown, huh?
No.
I gotta say, I hope these knights didn't. I hope the passionate roller wasn't honor. They're stabbing people in the back.
Well, I mean, they're also attacking in
it's
the
on
middle
a
of the night.
battlefield, though.
Yeah.
I feel like you could be a little... No, but they're all calling on loyalty.
Loyalty Lord, yeah.
Yeah. Round 6.
Okay.
His bodyguard take up the cry, "The Duke is dead!" Even in the darkness of the night, you can hear his army withdrawing back into their castle. In but a few moments... The idea that dozens of people are screaming the Duke is dead, this surely couldn't be a trick. Trumpets begin sounding in retreat. Everyone is in full chaos. What do you want to do?
Kendrick's going to keep after him. Like this is what he does.
Roll d6.
2.
Okay. You get a free shot on a footman.
Okay.
So there's no -5.
When it's free shots on you, it's all notable nights. When you get a free shot, it's like on
it's some poor bastard. Some poor bastard's about to get fucking
who hasn't got a horse
nuked. It's just a success.
Okay.
Is he wearing chainmail?
Let me check the stats for the footman. Knights, archer, bandit, foot soldier. Leather armor is 6.
So I do 1d6 less of damage. Doesn't matter when you roll 4 6s. 33.
Okay. 33. He is straight up dead.
Yeah.
So this will be your first actual glory kill here. Beyond taking out the Duke, of course. I'm not sure a footman is the kind of big numbers you were hoping for, but
yeah. You know, it is what it is. And I think Kendrick's gonna try and just basically stay on the retreating force. He's gonna wrangle up a horse if he can.
Yeah, I feel like you're getting on a horse and cinematically, like, sun rising in the background. Ulfius rides past you. He's got a banner in one hand and a sword in the other, and he's shouting, "On them! On them!" And, like, embers are floating up throughout the whole camp. Smoke's everywhere. People are shouting and screaming. I just played the opening cinematic of Final Fantasy 16, so I'm, like, 100% into big battles right now.
And I think Kendrick shouts, "For the prince!"
Oh, man. Oh, boy. That might actually demoralize everyone in the area. I won't make a check for that.
Nah, it's vengeance.
You
baby.
are pursuing the enemy
time.
into the castle?
Yes.
Okay, roll a d6.
3.
Okay. You are facing down with an armored guardsman with great spear, which will negate your mounted bonus.
Okay.
Let's roll. They start impassioned. Mostly because they're gonna fucking die.
That is a 6 from me.
Okay. I go get these guys' stats. Shubba-doo-bop-boop-boo. Am I crazy? Oh, it's because Great Spear is 2 words in King Arthur Pendragon. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I should be looking for is great pairs. I mean, it's so hard to find them nowadays. Okay, skill level of 19. Impassioned up to a 24. That is a critical.
Yep.
Okay, at 66, it's going to be a 12d6 hit. You may end up dying.
66.
Yep. This is a Continental Foot Soldier. 35.
So let's see here. Not enough to auto down me. But that will be, let's see. So 35.
That's 19.
Yeah. No, it's 25 because I have
Oh, you don't have a shield?
no, I don't have a shield. I'm wielding my mace too. Well, no, because yeah, it's too late. I've already rolled. So I am unconscious, and that is a major wound.
Ooh.
So I'm out in the last round. But I'm not dead.
All right. We're going to check for a chirurgeon then, right?
Yep.
Because you need one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, no, not to survive. It doesn't need a corrosion to survive. It's
Yeah.
not a mortal wound. It's a major wound. Yeah, but he'll need a corrosion to heal.
Aging.
15 plus. You're successful. You're good.
Okay.
Just to kick off your healing a little bit here. So we get the cinematic helicopter cam of the fortress. We see like at the vanguard, at like the portcullis, which is a fancy word for entrance to a castle on the far side of a bridge. Like so many people have gone through this area now that pushed to the side alone is Kendric. Like, your squire is there desperately keeping you alive. He's got a priest with him like stitching you up so that you don't die of battlefield infection. They're like pouring alcohol over your wounds. Your squire Hayden is just like crying on your armor. Is like, you have to wake up. We've won. The sun has risen over a red day as there's blood everywhere, smoke and fire throughout Uther's camp. The prince is dead. The duke is dead. Ulfius is still fighting on his horse on the battlements of the castle, leading the final charge into the citadel. It is dark what happens from here on out. I don't think I have to tell you that historically, armies that are invading a castle do some pretty fucked up shit when they're inside. I'm not going to elucidate from here, but some very upset knights do some very bad things. And all we hear are the cries and screams. Meanwhile, it's still nighttime back at Tinagel. It's a cold and long night. There's some weird sounds.
Before that, was Herawd able to get a message to his junglers?
Yes, actually, yes. What do you want to know from them?
Is there a way to get us in?
Their answer is, I can get someone in. One person. And it probably follows up with, like, if you need it, meet me at the postern gate on the eve of the following day. I've bribed the guards. You won't be able to get me another message.
I think that Herawd goes to Gwgan and says, well, looks like I can get one man in.
What would that one man do?
You or me.
I mean, these are your men. It should definitely be you, but do you know what you're going to do when you're inside?
I have no idea in the world, but I'm hoping that I could raise the portcullis at least.
0% chance that you are capable of raising a portcullis alone.
But he's got a squad of jonglers as well.
Ah, yes, the jonglers. My man Glimo's been playing too much Sea of Thieves, where you can raise the anchor chain from a galleon by yourself.
I mean, I'm hoping that if I got inside, that there's some sort of chaos that I could sow. But I'm certainly open to suggestions if you feel that there's
subterfuge and obscuration. They're not my talents, Herawd. This is you. Like you, I trust you to know the right way to equip yourself to deliver the best outcome for our forces. I can stay out here with the army, and then when the battle begins, I'll look for you on the battlefield to ensure that you get safely back into our lines.
Very well.
Right, be careful, and I'll offer van brace to van brace, clamp.
The Predator man shake, you mean?
Yeah, why not? Herawd goes
Okay.
behind
James,
enemy lines.
I would like you to make an awareness roll.
Okay. Yeah. Who am I again? I'm Gwgan.
17?
No, I'm Gwgan. No, that's a fail.
18. Okay. On the evening that you are preparing to sneak into the castle, Glimo, I should say Herawd, you see Merlin walk out to a nearby sacred stone distant from the castle, and he begins chanting, and a great thick fog moves in off the sea and envelops the castle, the causeway, and the entire besieging camp, making it so much easier for you to approach. You begin sneaking your way to the postern door, where the guards will be waiting for you to enter with the jonglers. And as you are sneaking up, Duke Gorlow, on a horse, rides up next to you and goes, "Sir Herawd, what the fuck are you doing here? Are you defecting?"
Just taking in the sights, my Duke.
I'm your Duke.
Not really sure what the proper protocol is for this moment, so that seemed the best address.
Speak plainly. Do you owe your loyalty to me or to the forces of King Uther? Keep it in, Spoon.
I serve Uther, my lord. I cannot lie to you.
Okay. He slaps you on the back and says, "That's good to hear. Let us ride then for the postern door." Gestures for you to get on the back of his horse.
I feel like I should roll fairy lore.
Yeah, go ahead and roll failure lore. You know what? Let's do it.
I know I'm going to fail, but...
Yeah, go ahead.
There are no fairies here.
That would be incredible. What an amazing answer that would be for me to give.
Herawd has no idea what's going on, but he's gonna.
This is Gorlo, and this is the weirdest conversation you've had in your entire life. The leader of the rebellion has ridden up on you out of nowhere as you're sneaking into his own castle, and is like, "Hey, man, you want to come inside? Why don't you go in with me?"
Right after
are you loyal to me, or are you loyal to Uther? Oh, you're loyal to Uther. That's good to hear. Yes, it's pretty fucked up.
It's pretty fucked up, but Herawd is gonna go for it.
Okay. You ride with Gorlo to the postern door. You quietly hear someone say, it's the Duke. It's not just the spy, it's the Duke as well. And you hear Gorlo go, yes, that's right, my men. It is I, Duke Gorlo. Open the door and let both of us inside. Myself and my loyal servant, the spy. You go inside. He immediately gets off his horse, and he gives you a clasp. He gives you the start of a handshake. He doesn't do the shake, but he gives you a clasp, and he goes, well, whatever it is you're here to do, I hope you do it well. I'll be about my business then. I, Duke Gorlo. And he turns and walks away.
Well, you heard the man. Apparently I'm in charge, so... Let's get that.
The guard standing by the door goes, I don't think he said you were in charge at all, sir. I think you just said you were allowed inside.
I've plainly heard him say that I should be about my business, and my business is getting that portcullis open.
Oh my god. Are you okay? Roll gaslight. Guess. What skill is gaslighting?
Intrigue?
I don't think so. I think it's orate.
Jesus. Couldn't give me something that I have any points in.
Oh, I'm sorry that I can't make things easier for you, and I bind you by the rules of the game you're playing.
Is there another player we can sub in who's got better social skills?
Wow, what a reference.
Yeah, no, not even close.
Okay. Yeah, he just goes, sorry, you want to get the portcullis open. Well, you know what? You'd better go down there and talk to the captain of the castle. I'm sure he'll have very... I don't recall the Duke saying that you should open the portcullis.
Oh, perhaps you heard a different conversation than I did. And at this point...
This guard's suspicion meter, you should realize, is rapidly going from yellow to red.
All right. I guess that Herawd is going to wander off and see
Your
if
jugglers immediately meet up with you. You've never seen them before, but it's like 4 guys. All of them are wearing kind of worn down, hand-me-down noble clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So as they sneak up to you, one of them goes, hello, 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 hello. And they barbershop quartet their introduction to you. And then the leader goes, Sir Herawd, we're here to help you out. We've got you in the castle.
Excellent. Let's go then.
Where are we going and what are we doing?
Oh, I thought you all had the plan.
Our plan was to get you inside. That's what you asked us for.
And I appreciate it. You did an amazing job. Now, what would be even more amazing is if we could figure out a way to get the portcullis open and the drawbridge down. What you got? No idea is a bad idea.
I'm getting some real Grandmaster vibes of Herawd right now.
You know, you really need two forces to have a rebellion. The prisoners with jobs. Okay. This play, I just want you to know, your risk level is incredibly high right now. Like, you are 30 people deep inside enemy lines.
Failing that, who's, you know, you guys have had your ears to the ground. Is there, you know, an internal rebellion that we can...
Yeah, I mean, we grabbed that guard, obviously, but I mean, it's pretty tight around here. Most of Gorlo's men are very loyal to him. I did hear that Duke Gorlo was spotted just a few minutes ago sneaking into the castle. Maybe if we kill him? Keep it in, Spoon. Keep it in.
I feel like something weird's going on with the Duke, and I don't know that I want any part of that right now. Is that, like, are there elements in the city that, you know, might
I really want to be super clear here. The people here are immensely loyal to Gorlo. They are under the impression that the Duke's wife, Uther, is like some sort of NTR guy, like he wants to bang the Duke's wife. Some people are like he wants to do it right in front of the Duke. Like Uther captured all of the nobles and hold them in London. I think that part might have been true. Like Uther was the one is like pushing this, is attacking Gorlo. Like Gorlo's people are ready to hold out for years. I gotta be honest, loyalty here is kind of rock solid. What if we like poison the well? I feel like that's achievable.
Yeah, but that would take weeks. Feel like we don't have
just
that
kill
kind
some
of time.
people and throw their dead bodies in the well in order to poison it, you know?
Yeah, but you know, poison water supply, that takes weeks to take effect.
I want victory tonight.
I gotta be honest. I'm a performer. I'm not really used to overthrowing governments in a single night. Didn't really plan for this. I thought you had the plan. Like we were getting you inside and you were gonna do something.
Yeah, well, my thing didn't seem to work out so well. So,
okay, all right. I got something. What if we go to the armory and say that we are moving supplies under orders from one of the captains, and then we just throw all the supplies over the edge of the castle?
I think perhaps maybe it's late. You've got a place to hole up?
Gonna be honest here. I thought we were leaving with you.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so he's like, yeah, let's work on that. Let's workshop it real quick, guys. Leaving. And the last guy's like, leaving with you. And then they all join in on the you. And he's like, yeah, that's sharp. Let's figure out how to get that into a song. Maybe like some sort of romance. Somebody nearby is just like, someone shut those fucking jugglers up. Jesus, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why I sound vaguely Irish when I'm from Wales.
Oh, boys. I don't think this was what either one of us expected was going to happen. So let's head down to the gate and just watch for a little while from the shadows.
All right. just before dawn. Your men are like, we have to leave before, you know, before the light starts. We have to start getting out of here. And Duke Gorlo goes to the postern door, gets on his horse again, and prepares to leave.
I'll head on up to him and say, Your Grace?
Yes. Sir Herawd, you're still alive.
Amazingly, yes. And
Shocking.
so are you.
Why wouldn't I be alive? It's my castle. In
Right.
fact, it would be weird for me to be dead right now. Why would you even say that? You
This has been a
metagaming,
very
bro?
weird night, Your Grace. What would you have of me?
Oh,
What is
well,
the best way
I'm
that I
going out
can...
for a walk. I have to get back to my other castle where I'm engaging in a protracted, you know, siege. Would you like to join me on my walk outside of my castle?
Absolutely. And I...
All right, so
Just-
a very surprised-looking guard lets Gorlo leave, you walking behind him, and 4 barbershop quartet jugglers as well.
Yes.
And he goes, I won't tell anyone about this, my duke. And he goes, good. You tell no one I was here. And then he turns to you and your 4 men. And he says, you'll also say that you never saw me tonight. On your honor.
On my honor, I don't know that I could explain this even if I wanted to.
He starts to ride off. And even though you are but a few feet away from him, he disappears in the fog after just a few steps. Gwgan, you wake up.
Speak
Yep.
nothing of this and run.
All of you run back to your own lines. Gwgan, you wake up.
Yes.
It's dawn. The air is eerie. It's cold. And you remember the sounds of dragons and screams filled with blood that haunted your dreams.
I to take a moment to compose myself before joining up to sort of see what the muster this morning is.
Morning in Tintagel. Well, great news for you, Herawd. You still have duty, even though you didn't sleep because you were sneaking in the Duke's castle all night.
Of course.
So, like, half dead, you join Gwgan. A messenger comes and says, good news, everyone! Duke Gorlo was killed last night, and Castle Terrible was taken in a fierce night battle. Ooh, bad news. Prince Maddox, son of the king, was killed in the fighting, personally slain by Duke Gorlo, sometime shortly after midnight. Yes, Gorlo and Maddox both died shortly after midnight, last night. People begin openly weeping.
Chekhov's messenger.
Herawd will file this away, but he does not know what to do with this information and does not feel that he should share his experience of last night.
You
He's
see
sworn up
that
to.
as the messenger makes his way through the camp, he makes it to Uther. Uther is sitting upon a throne in the center of the war camp. He glances at Merlin. Merlin is not shedding roses in this moment. He sits impassively nearby. Uther looks like someone who just heard that their son was brutally murdered, stands up and enters his tent.
Is Herawd able to approach Merlin?
Yes. Merlin is sitting quietly, possibly for the first time in his entire life.
Or Druid?
I understand you had an exciting evening.
I had a very strange night, and I think you might be the only person in this world who can shed light on it.
Let me say this. It would behoove you and anyone who accompanied you last night to never speak of this to anyone, including myself, ever again.
I assume there was some magics involved with what happened.
Don't ask questions.
Very well. I just hope that I have served well.
He looks like he wants to say something, and then he simply stands up and moves to enter Uther's tent. Several hours later, the two of you receive word that the body of the Duke is going to be brought here to Tintagel. You also receive word that Sir Kendric has been direly wounded. Perhaps not mortally so, but he will be out of pocket for several weeks at the very least, and he is being borne on a stretcher here as well.
Did you achieve what you wanted to in the castle?
It was not the experience that I thought it was going to be, Gwgan. This war is very strange. I know that I am young to my knighthood, but ne'er experienced anything like this.
And these 4 men in motley, they're your men?
Yes, may I, thought I had written down a new name for my group, but I cannot find it in my notes. Let me introduce my, my new quartet.
Do they all sing their names in slightly higher?
Yeah, of course they would. You know it. I've got names for you. If you don't, Glimo.
If you have them, then great. I thought I had rolled names for them, but now I am not finding it in my notes.
So it goes Chad, Matt, Rob, also Chad. They are writing a song.
So we're both Chads in the same key.
No, he was one lower.
One Chad's a bass, one Chad is
second
a
Chad is a bass for sure. They are writing a song based on what you've just said. So far, the lyrics are mostly nonsense, but they're trying to sort out what your feelings are so that when they sing the song, the people of your lands will understand what you've seen and done here today. And so far, the song goes, "This war of strange, oh, this war of mine. I may be young in years, but I am not unkind." But they try to pronounce unkind weirdly so that it rhymes with mine. That's all I got. Sorry, I didn't have ChatGPT read it for me. I had to come up with it on the spot based on ambient dialogue options. You are the next day reunited with a semi-conscious Kendric, accompanied by Hayden. It Looks like the body of the Duke has been brought, as has Maddox's body. There is a lot of triumph. I mean, obviously, taking a castle, ending the siege, victory over Gorlo is huge. It maybe surprises you to hear that Gorlo died, and then at a much later time you saw him alive. But you're the only one talking about it right now.
I'm not talking about it.
Not talking about it. Good. That's good. It's good that you're not talking about it.
Herawd has a high enough suspicious that he knows something fucked up happened and is not going to talk about it as ordered.
As you are watching the procession of knights and peasants who are accompanying the body of the Duke as it prepares itself to go across the causeway to Castle Tintagel, Duke Ulfius rides beside you and then gets down off his horse and stands next to you to look at the procession and says, Sir Herawd?
Your Grace?
I understand that you penetrated the defenses of Tintagel.
I did. Unfortunately, there was not much that could be done from the inside. Everyone is fiercely loyal to Gorlo. There
Well, he's dead
didn't
now.
seem to be any resistance that I could try upon, so we snuck back out.
We? Who was we?
My minstrel troupe who helped to get me inside.
Interesting. You know, I've been lacking a minstrel troupe for some time. Perhaps when this is over in a few days, you can send your men to Silchester so that I might hear them and also hear their recommendations for who I might hire to give me a personal troupe.
I do highly recommend it. I enjoy the arts, and it's amazing what interesting rumors you can find.
Yes, many interesting rumors. I believe that you should pay your men well and immediately. We wouldn't
Shall be
want
done,
any
my lord.
rumors, would we?
No, we definitely don't want any untoward rumors getting out.
Good. I'll be looking forward to hearing your men's performances. He just gets back on his horse and rides away.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Make a suspicious roll.
Can I add suspicious Silchester?
Yeah, you know what? Just go ahead.
That's a success.
But how successful is it?
10 out of 20.
You are beginning... You have a growing feeling inside of you that you will probably never see Chad, Matt, Rob, and Second Chad again.
Mm-hmm.
That their trip to Silchester will be one way and permanent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're going upstate.
I live on a farm.
Well, they will be somewhere where you bury things in the ground for sure. Go ahead and check mark suspicious if you haven't already.
I actually already had one in it, but
What can I say, Glimo?
can I check suspicious Silchester?
No.
Mm.
No, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to take a break, and when we return, we will attend the funeral of Duke Gorlo, or Ducky as he was known to some of his friends. He had friends, which he didn't because he was a duke.
As an aside,
funeral for the prince.
I mean, are we going to do a funeral for the prince? Probably. But we're definitely doing the funeral for Gorlo first.
Okay.
As an aside,
yes,
you should definitely go check out this same year on Ticking Time Bob's channel, where our DM guested as a Duke Gorlo and had a hell of a death scene.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have the blood packs right in front of me. I just didn't want to use them for this the second time. The towel I used the first time, it's still stained.
Ruined, yeah.
With blood. Yeah, it's... Yeah, what are we in? 491 on Ticking Time Bomb? Yes, I did Gorlo's goodbye scene. And a bunch of other surprise pop scenes that people dropped on me to see if I could improv. All right, we'll be back shortly.
And
yeah, James, yeah.
I'm just making ass.
Yeah, we know. Hey, welcome back, friends. In the spirit of the intro hour, I just want to say real quick that I saw a comment on Twitter that one of the quest names in Final Fantasy 16 is Caulk, like caulking your bathroom, and Ball. So it's called Caulk and Ball. And it's apparently a quest to fix a smuggling ship or something like that. And I'm like, sheesh, Square Enix, you losing your mind.
Listen,
I have to send you a video now.
As a guy who has worked at
Is it the
a
New
home
Zealand
improvement
deck?
store.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, yeah. But as a guy who has worked at a home improvement store for several years, that is one of the most interesting things when people come up and go, "Hey, where's this at?"
I still remember when I first started my career in IT, working in a little computer shop, and someone came in saying that my team told me to come in and buy a 6-inch dongle. Are they fucking with me?
Right next to the headlight fluid, the left-handed screwdrivers,
like cans of elbow grease.
Nails.
Oh yeah, cans of elbow grease. Yeah. Oh, Zoomers, we've been there. One day you too will be harassed by the old people who work with you because they're all assholes and they decided you should be bitter too. Speaking of bitter, it is a bitter day as the body of the Duke is brought across the causeway under a flag of truce. Even across the straits, the wailing and weeping of those inside is easily heard. After a single day, the king sends his bodyguards Brastius under a flag of truce to the castle. He is admitted and sometimes later returns with word for the king that the Duchess has agreed to surrender. In your war camp, everyone is triumphant. The king announces that justice has been done. The traitor is dead, and now peace and unity can return to the land of Britain. The Duchess comes forth with her household, all dressed in mourning black, and surrenders to the king, who places her into his personal protective custody. Uther appoints keepers to the castles he has conquered, but there will never be another Duke of Cornwall. He appoints Sir Thebert, a notable knight from Marlborough, as temporary warden of Terrabil.
Marlborough.
Okay. Uther also, with the permission of Roderick, appoints all of you and some other knights from elsewhere around the country as a temporary garrison for Castle Terrabil. Uther announces he's going to remain at Tintagel until the funeral for his son. As the army packs up to leave, messengers bring word that the Saxon king Ael has conquered yet another city in the south. Uther accepts the news, but it does not seem to make him particularly unhappy. Now, none of you are in attendance because you have to go to Herawd, but a royal funeral is indeed held for Prince Matic.
We have like
well,
a proxy.
actually, it says there's a pretty good chance you'd be there. So you know what?
Okay.
I guess you got off duty for the prince's. Oh boy, let's see here. Make a awareness check as you are all at the funeral for the prince.
Success.
Oh God! I failed again.
Success.
Another 18.
Those who succeeded notice a gravesite is being kept for Uther for the unfortunate day that he will die. Uther is deeply grieved by his son's death. It is a momentous occasion, and many who are in attendance at the funeral notice all others who are at the funeral. As you return back to Terrabil, you hear word that Uther is engaged in, King Ael of the Southern Saxons has been reinforced by another contingent of Germans brought over by his son, Sisa. Together, they engage the city of Pevensey and begin starving the residents for weeks as they assail the walls and slay everyone. Men, women, and children are sacrificed to Wotan, the bloody Saxon war god. Also, in a super cool and not at all weird, creepy, or really dark way, Uther announces that he's getting married to the Duchess of Grain just 2 months after the death of her husband. And wouldn't you know it, she's already pregnant.
Well,
Would you all like to attend the wedding?
I feel like Herawd would.
You can apply for time off.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is like for Gwgan. This is it's a happy moment. He has no sort of predilections towards weird shit going on. So he's just like, yep, Keith's getting married. Definitely, it's the place to be.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think did Gwgan get the Amor?
I did, yeah, but only very low though. That's like a 6 or something, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like Herawd has loyalty Uther, so he definitely would want to go.
In attendance is, of course, Uther, Ulfius, Earl Roderick, Countess Elaine, your wives, Sir Jaredin, who you haven't seen in quite a while. Sir Haya, son of a Saxon, also known as Haya the White, is in attendance as one of the few surviving young wolves. A organization which now no longer functionally exists. You can remove your loyalty young wolves.
Okay. What could you think? The young wolf now? Since that loyalty to that one guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's down to me and Haya.
Also in attendance is Sir Amig of Tilshead, Sir Elid, Sir Baradin. And if you have anyone that you're interested, if they are there or not, you can let me know. And Sir Yurig the Coney Eater is also there.
Could I just ask, how much of a big deal is being made over the fact that it was Kendric which killed the Duke?
It's a 250 glory thing, so it's actually a huge deal.
Okay.
And no one is... Kendric has had a checkered combat past of people questioning him. But let's be very clear here. No one is like, if only he'd been a few moments faster, he could have saved the prince. Instead, it's like a well-timed blow and then a wise choice to finish. The story, interestingly, doesn't get embellished. It's just you know, a disarmed duke was slain by a giant mace hit, and then the follow-up crushing of his chest. There's no like, it was a glorious ride. The angels parted a sea of men as he rode. Let's
be clear though. His hands were still on his sword.
Yes. I mean, you know, he's trying to get the sword out.
Sure.
Again, to be clear, no one is like, wow, you're super dishonorable in any way.
Yeah.
The story is told as it happened, which is somewhat unusual given the momentousness of the occasion and the fact that it occurred during a night attack when everything was on fire, and everyone was tired. The retelling is complete and factual rather than fantastical and boastful. Perhaps because most of the people who would be boastful are all dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a wedding, it ain't bad. You know, a king's getting wedded. A lot of the ceremony here is very lavish and costly, but the warriors in attendance all seem distracted. I think you notice Ulfius continuously attempting to counsel the king to counterattack King Ael. And the king simply laughs and continues to say that it is his wedding day. Is there anyone you'd like to meet with or anything you'd like to do here at the wedding of the king?
I think, you know, this is like the first time that we've had a chance to like sit down and talk after, you know, the battle, going to Tintagel, going to the funeral, going to the wedding.
You had to recover and everything as well. So.
Right. And I mean, like, yeah, so because I think by now, I think Kendric is back to full health. But, you know, he was in, you know, bandages and stuff for a long time. But I mean, so I assume we're all sitting together.
Yep. Are we taking a moment from aside from our wives?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, your wife can't be on screen, so
yeah, that's right. Yeah. She just went to powder her nose. That's right.
My friends, it has been too long since we've had a chance to sit down and speak with each other as brothers.
Yes, I thought when we separated, that the time apart would be minimal, but it seems that we had that just fate took us in different directions for some time. But we're back together again now. You a more glorious man for your deeds.
Nearly a dead one, but Andraste smiled upon me, and the spear missed my heart. What became of Tintagel?
Well, I think it all happened rather cleanly. I went to bed, and the next morning I heard news of the Duke's death. And shortly thereafter, Uther rode in and spoke with the Queen. And now, obviously, things have acquitted themselves the way that they have. No luck with the Jongleurs and opening the gates then, eh?
Well, I was able to get myself inside, but apparently the guard was fiercely loyal to Orlo, so we were not able to use that to much advantage, and we were able to sneak out just before sunrise.
Well, a pity then. Perhaps if we had been able to take Tintagel before Gorlo attacked, the prince might still be alive.
Well, God has a plan for all of us, and clearly his plan for Matic called him to his side at this point.
I've been thinking, perhaps, that we should look for additional members for the Order of the Axe.
Do you have anyone in mind?
I have a few candidates that I'd like to get to know a little bit better, spend some more time with. I don't know if you remember him, but Sir Baradin.
Yes, definitely.
From our first battle.
Oh, sorry, I was there. Sorry.
He's he's a knight in Salisbury. He helped Herawd and I and your cousin the night before our first battle, and then also
quite the camp cook.
Yes. I believe they call him the Soup Knight. And then Sir Haya, the White.
What of our squires too? I mean, our squires have already served with our Brotherhood before they take their oaths. You know, do we? I don't think it should be automatically considered that any squire that serves with us joins the Brotherhood, but I think that we should consider each one when they become a knight.
I was going to suggest the same thing. I feel that Ebis should stand. I also feel that Kinnead from my family, who slew the Bannermen at Lindsay, would make a fine addition.
Excellent. I think these are good things to think about as we move forward after.
I had once asked Gwent if he would enjoy joining the Brotherhood, and he gestured in the affirmative.
Did he not nodded his head in that way that he does?
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we should we'll think about more about what sort of qualifications or
probably the big one for Sir Haya
rituals
is going to be the fact that he lives several hundred miles away from your home base.
Sure, that's fine.
But it's like a franchise, though, AP. Like you don't need to serve with the Brotherhood.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to be opening up the northeastern branch. He's going to be opening the Lindsay branch.
Because he's from the north. Is he from Lindsay?
I mean, it depends on how you decide from. Sure. The son of a Saxon. He bases himself out of Lindsay, and he throws himself into the front lines.
And he was like, he's a hedge knight, right? Or he doesn't, or he's like a household knight. He was an unattached knight who got famous for being brutal in combat, and kind of basically became a household like a knight for Sir Prince Matic.
Yeah, he was carried by his fame in combat, not for being like honorable or having a good family.
Yeah. So when I lived in the UK, which for the record was like nearly 40 years ago, saying he's from the north was like saying he's a redneck.
I apologize, Scotland.
I know it's the north of England, not
the north
Scotland.
Of England, not the north of the island.
It's like Liverpool, Northumbria, that sort of
York.
Yeah.
My God, I apologize to the north side of England. Don't listen to this man. It's been 40 years. I'm sure you've changed.
So I think Kendric will raise a toast and say, "To the axe."
The axe.
Does Baradin show up and go to the axe?
I mean, he's not in yet. Let's
Yeah, we have a very exhaustive. We have an exhaustive vetting process.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Provide 3 references, including a wife.
Yeah.
It's like a Outlaw Motorcycle Club. You've got to give a percentage of your income to the Brotherhood.
Please, come on. We're not Scientologists.
What are your thetans?
Well, we just lost all advertising on YouTube.
So you just got demonetized.
Oh man. Man, yeah, I don't know that there's anybody. Is there anything you guys want to do while we're at this wedding?
Yeah, I
would like to approach Uther.
At his wedding?
At his wedding. He's going to present a gift.
Very well.
Nice.
You get in line. You approach Uther at his wedding. Duke Ulfius. The line has been moving fairly regularly, but rather than having somebody, he social distances the person who is behind you so that they are not close enough to hear what you are saying to Uther and Igraine. You are alone with the happily wedded couple.
Your Majesties, may I present you mead for your honeymoon from the apiaries on my estates. And I will present it and bow deeply.
As you are handing it to him, Uther is going to use his right hand to clasp your right hand and hold you in place while you're bowing and say, "It is good that you are a loyal servant, Sir Herawd."
That I am, my king.
It is good, indeed. And he lets your hand go. It's a really intense
I know
moment.
what's going on, but does Herawd suss what's happened here?
Listen, motherfucker, you roll fairy lore. You don't know shit. You don't know shit.
But, I mean, now there's like, he says the exact same words, like...
Roll suspicious.
That is a success.
I'm shocked that you weren't like, well, Ulfius is nearby. Can I act?
I'm not that bad of a Baymaxer.
Uther's been to Silchester, so...
Yeah. He's the king of Silchester.
He's the king of Silchester. That one actually would be kind of legitimate. Yeah, it is weird to hear. I mean, just the whole situation. I don't know if, like, you immediately jump to Uther used magic in order to pretend to be Igraine's husband the night that he died, but, and was super, like, rapey about it. But, that said, I think that you are starting to put things together. You know, the timing is off, the repetition of quotes, Uther's recognition of you. I'll let you figure out when you want to figure it out in character. I'll leave
Fair
that
enough.
on you, Glimo.
Thank you, sir.
Your gift is added to an enormous pile of meads and other wines. What's next on the evening's festivities?
Yeah, I don't really have anything I want to do particularly here.
Okay. You are banished to the edge of the realm, Tintagel in the far southwest. You will winter over there. Earl Roderick is also ordered to garrison at Tintagel. Sorry, you're at Terrible. And Roderick is now in charge of Tintagel. Uther spends the winter reviewing the knights who previously gave their loyalty to Gorlo. He loyalty checks them and brutally has killed the ones who he believes are not as loyal as he would like to him. You all serve under Sir Thebert of Marlborough, which I definitely did not pronounce correctly a second time. Your estates will all automatically generate a normal amount of money, which you get to keep as treasure because Sir Thebert is paying for your year. He is keeping you at the level of normal knights, and the money that you would make from your estates is going directly into your pocket.
Nice.
He is paying out of the massive treasure he got from helping to capture and maintain this castle. It's good to be the king's man. Okay, well, we're gonna do it's good to be the kingsman. If any of you would like to, you can try to spend Christmas Court at Tintagel, particularly if you are a grain simp and you want to be simpin'. But if that is not the case, then you can simply winter over at Terrabil, where you're supposed to be.
Does anybody want to go to Christmas Court?
Yeah, my inclination is to stay where we're directed to be.
AP, can I roll my Amoria grain to see if I want to go or not?
Yes, but success will not give you a check.
Okay. No, I'm good where we're at.
You have your own problems in this particular castle. We'll come back to that.
Sure.
Herawd, sneaking out or staying in?
If the rest of the lads are going to stay here. I mean, it would be nice to see Roderick, but I feel like we've all branched quite a bit over the last year, so getting our new footing here is not the worst thing in the world. Does my friend Sir Yurig the Coney Eater get purged?
He does not. He bends the knee.
Is he here at Terrabil or is he at Tintagel?
I believe he is here at Terrabil.
Given enough time, can I say that I caught some abrasive rabbits for him to present him at Christmas?
Absolutely. Let me give you some other people that are there. Obviously, the garrison commander, Sir Thebert. Sir Varius, who is from northeast of Cornwall. He's from Clarence. He claims to be from the lands of the Dubunni, which are like a pre-Roman invasion British tribe. So it's kind of, tries to claim past glories to some extent. Sir Elaine de Carlion, from Estragales, who is the vassal of King Nanteliad of Silures. Kind of a big deal. In fact, almost all of the knights gathered here are from all across Britain and England, indeed. Your families are not present, so it's really everybody's trying to make the best of a weird Christmas in a castle that was just recently invaded and burned not too long ago.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Herawd's jonglers staying with us?
No. In fact, you receive word over the what's the druidic version of Christmas?
Yule.
Yeah, you get word over Yule that one of them fell out of a tower in Silchester, another one was kicked by a horse, a third was killed by a cut purse, and Chad 2 just disappeared and was never heard from again. They all died and over the course of a day. Very sad, very sad. But no
17
one will miss
So
Still
them.
get stab
check
wounds.
intrigue for
You're back.
having them for most of the year.
No, they. Oh yeah, sure. You can still check intrigue for that, but yeah, they
Okay.
definitely they knew too much and were absolutely killed by Ulfius's order, if not Uther directly. They do live a written copy of half of a poem that they wrote in your honor about, called "This War of Mine." It's really the only evidence they ever existed.
May I try my hand at completing the poem?
Absolutely.
I'm asking.
Are you
I'm
asking in or
the
out
gentleman.
of character?
I'm asking in character. Yes.
Okay.
If you like, my friend, I feel that perhaps the arts are no longer a safe thing for me.
I only have two hobbies: singing and writing, and I had hoped to explore them both with your jongleurs, but their unfortunate demise leaves me to.
I've now had two sets.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no longer with us, and I feel like that's more than most nights get, and perhaps I should hang it up here. So, if these songs can be of use to you, then please have them.
Well, let me try my hand at composing a fitting end to the story they started.
Sure, make your roll.
Oh, God. My roll so far have been 18, 18, 19 today.
James, for you, the Yule or the Pentecost, or sorry, the Christmas involves a lot of you walking along castle battlements, doing the narcos, just looking out, unable to break through your writer's block.
No, I think I'm constantly writing and then scrapping up paper and throwing it off the battlement edge. You know, while
Okay.
that's terrible.
I want a canon scene of you just shouting incredibly loudly from the top of the tallest tower, "Nothing rhymes with orange! Orange! Orange!"
that was the last word in their poem. I just could never get past that point.
Well, there's nothing else. We must begin end of year.
Herawd will present a brace of conies to his
Yes.
friend Yurik as
Yurik the Conan Eater.
Yes, as a Yule present.
He presents to you a hearty bowl of stewed I was gonna say tomatoes, but that's not canon yet. He presents to you a hearty vegetable stew and says, "I think we had a pretty similar idea."
Been quite the year, my friends.
Well, if you've got
Hopefully-
a few hours, how about we simmer those conies inside the stew, and then it'll be twice as good down the line.
Perfect. Hopefully this year will be far less interesting.
Yeah, interesting. No. You're a man who hears things, right?
Try to keep my ear to the ground.
Your companion, Sir Kendric, slew the Duke Gorlo.
Justly on the field of battle, that is my understanding.
Sometime after midnight, it said.
To my reckoning, but I wasn't. Wasn't on that field.
He crosses his arms and kind of nods and looks away from you and says, I was at Tintagel that morning, and after the Duke supposedly died, he visited Tintagel hours later.
So where's this conversation taking place?
I think just openly in the feast hall at Terrabil. Quietly, but openly.
Thought it might have been on the battlements. Would have been a great scene for Herawd to just push him off the battlements.
You know what? If that's where you want this to go, that's where it will take place.
That's up to Glimo. It's just.
I mean, look, Spoon and I are both 100% down for conversations on the battlements.
Yeah, that end with somebody
It's a
getting
real
pushed
classic.
off. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's very Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You know, too much conversation.
Do you think they'll still call you Sir Yurig the Unfallen now? You know what? I'm going to rewatch that scene after this.
Good. It's a good one.
I'm trying not to make Herawd the murder hobo, but I've like absolutely, now that James has suggested it, that's
Okay.
absolutely, you know. Like...
It's a cold white winter. From Terrabil, you just see white in every direction. You and Yurig are walking along the battlements. He has stepped up to one of the, I don't know what it's called, a curtain wall or whatever, so that he can like look out. And he's just facing away from you, waiting for you to respond so he can make sense of what he's heard and what he's seen with his own eyes. Prenulation, thank you.
So he's looking out.
Yes.
Yeah. Herawd pulls a dagger, puts it in the back of his neck, and pushes him off.
You know I'm going to ask you to roll your dagger skill.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Can he have a bonus for having surprise? Because dagger's not great.
Yeah, I know his dagger's not great. That's what makes doing this insane. If you just want to push him out, it's strength.
If I just want to push him out, it's
Yeah,
strength.
because you need to push him, because if you stab him when they find the body, they're going to say, someone
they're
stabbed
gonna-
this guy.
All right.
Yeah, if he
I do
falls,
push
it's like,
him
oh,
out.
he just fell off the battlements, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you how to do murder, but that's how to do murder.
Yeah, no. Ah,
I mean, if you fail, this is going to get real messy very quickly.
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
This is Sir Herawd's wheelhouse. Well, no, maybe not the strength, but the intrigue and murder. Or
Can
te-
I?
Yeah, you're getting passion first. Is the other
Yeah. Can I use loyalty Uther?
Yes. In fact, I think it's probably the only passion you can call upon to do this.
I am not impassioned.
You try to psych yourself up. You say you're doing this for Uther. But really, in your own mind, you know you're doing this so that you can advance in the court of Ulfius.
Success.
I want to know what goes through your mind as you take one of your good friends and just push him out the window, and he just goes end over end twice before landing upside down in a snowdrift, instantly dead. What do you feel as you kill a man to keep a secret for the king?
Herawd is... He's torn. He is full of regret. You know, this is not killing a man on a battlefield, which, you know, Herawd has done a few times. You know, this is a much colder level of suspicion and intrigue that Herawd has had to do. But as Yurig was selling this, that's when all the pieces came together in Herawd's mind. Like, you know, when he talked to the king, and, you know, he had the handshake, and, you know, so there was that, and then said the words, you know, all the pieces were starting to come together, and then Yurig said this, and that was the last piece, and then he just remembers, you know, and then of course then it clicks that, oh my god, all my jonglers died. And he remembers Merlin saying no one should speak of this.
And you immediately spoke to Merlin of it again, directly after he said that.
And he realizes what's happened, and that this is a secret that must be kept to keep the king in power.
Sure, for the good of the king.
For the good of the king.
Damn, dude. That's good.
A Lannister pays his debts from the Game of Thrones soundtrack by, I think his name's Herawd, starts playing. Yeah, you stare coldly over the battlements out the crenellation as you see a peasant begin, like, making his way out there, and he goes, "He's dead! A knight is dead! Someone come quick!" We cut back inside, where Kendric and Gwgan are just having a nice Christmas feast.
Yep.
In the background, it set in a nearby fireplace near your end of the table, is the stew pot filled with Sir Urik's stew, simmering away with those conies Herawd brought in.
Yeah, and I think, you know, just to really put the knife in and twist it, Sir Kendric has, you know, 4 bowls, and it fills each of them, hands Gwgan his, and sets the other 2 out for Yurig and Herawd, and starts to eat the soup.
Thanks for that, Spoon. I really needed somebody to just drive the knife in sideways once it's already in there. All right, just gonna remove Sir Yurig from contention for
for the order of the axe. Yep, he's not making it in now.
It would require some real fairy lore to get him in there.
Herawd will want to get a moment with Ulfius privately.
Ulfius is not here. Ulfius is in Silchester.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Then
he had your guys sent back to Silchester, and had them killed there.
Interesting. Okay. Then
also, it's like several week journey for you to go to him.
Yeah, no, but
you want to write him a note?
Saying, hey, I just killed this guy because he knew about the thing.
I feel like he would send a note to Ulfius, and it would be very vague, and it would just say, some people know more than they should and are putting pieces together. and should be looked at.
Okay.
And
do you give any names?
No.
Okay.
Specifically, are leaving names off this so that if the message is intercepted, that it doesn't cause more problems. Herawd assumes Ulfius is smart enough to figure out that that Yurig was definitely one of them, and that Ulfius should start looking elsewhere.
Okay. I think this is a good place to take break number 2. And when we come back, we'll start doing end of year stuff.
Oh.
All right. Friends, when we come back, there will be no more tears.
Only fears.
No tears, just sleep.
Yeah, I mean, Yurik's gone. We're never going to talk about him again. You know, Sir Herawd, they say when a man dies, he shits himself one last time. Let's end that year. Get my notes here for winter phase. So there is a solo scenario for Sir Kendric.
Okay.
Oh.
You receive word that your lands have been raided repeatedly by a bandit knight with a small but brutal set of followers. And you have an option to request permission to go home and solve the problem if you would like.
Absolutely.
I would like some sort of roll to convince Sir Thibert to let you go home.
Sure. Courtesy?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's a success.
Okay. You do receive permission to travel by yourself home for the express permission of hunting down whoever is raiding your manor and return post haste.
Okay. Yeah. Kendric will bid farewell to his brothers in arms and say, I've got to go take care of things back at Pitton. I'll return shortly.
Good luck.
Good hunting.
When you arrive, I would like you to roll 1d6 minus 1.
Okay. That's a 4.
Please remove 4 members of your family tree.
Damn. Okay.
They have died in the defense of Pitton, which has been raided repeatedly with little effect stopping it, to the point where the knights present have called the levies forward specifically to stop these wintertime raiders.
Okay.
You have several options now that so many of your family members are dead. You can go to your manor and attempt to protect it, physically in person. You can try to follow the raiders in the wake of a raid back to wherever their base is and attack them when they're their weakest. Or you can take word to Earl Roderick. That will require you to basically go all the way home. By home, I mean all the way back to Tintagel, which is where he is garrisoned.
So, have 4 members of my family die.
Mm-hmm.
So let me mark those off. So I think it's going to be several cousins who are my other lineage men. which is down to 9 now. I will take my remaining knights and some other footmen and fighters and try and hunt down this bandit camp.
Okay. Make a hunting roll.
Do I get the +5 for being in my own
local
lands?
Yes.
That is a success.
Would you like to attack using sword or your mace?
Probably sword here.
Okay. We will do a clash of sword on sword. Just a single roll to resolve your part in the combat as both sides collide. You find your way to the bandit base and begin raiding it instead.
Mounted bonus or no?
No mounted bonus. Your opponent is also mounted.
That's a critical.
Well, that's really bad for my boy. You don't need to roll damage. You enter into a fierce duel against a armed enemy knight.
That's right. He was a knight.
Your knights are faring somewhat well against the numerous but poorly armed peasantry who make up this raiding group. This knight, however, is fairly skilled. Not as good as you, of course, but fairly skilled. You quickly overwhelm them, and as you crunch through their armor, throwing them to the ground, and on your horse stand over them, they pull their helmet off, and it is Elliston. He looks up at you, beaten once again. You have destroyed him twice now. Breathing heavily, it is clear that your wound to him has crushed some of his ribs. And without immediate medical care, he will probably perish. He just looks at you hatefully, unmoving, flat on the ground.
Kendric will get off of his horse, go over to him, kneel down by his side.
Pull out a dagger. Make a couple dagger rolls real quick. Sorry, this is a very serious scene. I'm so sorry.
No, I think he'll say, "Blood for blood. You shouldn't have killed my family." And he will stand up and walk away and let Elliston.
As you get back on the horse, you can hear him shouting, "Kill me! You have to kill me!"
I have killed you, Elliston. Goodbye.
So dark. So dark. You and your family members recover some of the goods that have been raided from you, but not all. And a exhausted, having difficulty breathing, Elliston is left alone in the camp to certainly perish without any off-screen help or any mysterious fairy magic or Sir Blaine's rising from the dead to help him.
Some random Roman praetor who we may have fucked over in the past.
I think it's fair to say that Elliston is as good as if he had died on screen.
Yeah.
He will not be returning to this particular story.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Did it hurt having to put down your own puppy?
It was rough. That was, I thought for a second maybe I'll try and rehabilitate him, but then I was like, no, he killed my family. Like this, he's got to die.
Okay. Unless anyone has a convincing reason for me to present them with a solo scenario, we move on to experience rolls. Time to roll those dice.
Let's do it.
All
right. So my manner gives me a roll for energetic.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got to do that.
Yeah, you need to do checks first. Yep. Which
lets me check energetic.
If you succeed, yeah, that's right.
Yep. Then I check falconry. I check love family. And intrigue. Okay. Now I get to do checks.
Ooh, I do not get a check for energetic. That would have come up.
Energetic
No,
goes.
I got a check in flirting from my gazebo.
Ooh.
Nice.
You flirting with your wife? Ew.
Wait a minute.
Oh
Something
yeah,
went
I
wrong
forgot
with
I
my
got the
proud roll.
scholar. Okay.
I do not have a proud of 130.
Hunting already had a check. Okay. Great.
All right. The die roll was 18 on that, so I am gonna say that my proud does go up.
My proud does not go up. My spiritual does not go up.
Suspicious does not go up.
My indulgent does not go up.
Loyalty Lord goes up and is now a 16.
Nice. My loyalty lord does not go up. My hospitality does not go up.
Of a family does not go up.
Let's see.
Falconry does go up. Intrigue does not go up.
Those does go up. Let's see. Goes up. Hunting goes up. Orate also goes up. Romance. And finally singing. Sorry, fellas, I had a lot of checks.
Yeah.
Sword. Lance. Mace? No. All right. That is it. What's next, AP?
Aging. Advance yourself and your squires. I'm going to go on a wild assumption and assume none of you have hit 35 yet.
Correct.
Correct.
27 now?
28.
28?
I'm only 26.
I'm not sure when we insert the manor part.
I'll tell you when it happens. It's when you get to consider economic circumstances in the book.
Okay. We are not considering economic circumstances this year, however.
But you still need to but we still need to do the. You can assume the manor has a good result. Oh, sorry, a standard
yes, you
result.
have a normal result.
Yeah, but we still need to work out what the income from random investments is.
Okay, yeah. Then that's now. We do check economic circumstances now. However, you will lose all of your normal treasury gain will go directly to your treasury because you're being covered by Sir Thibert. However, Kendric, you will lose 1d6 pounds if you would roll for that, please, because you were raided, and some of it was unrecoverable.
3 pounds.
You can, of course, pay to have yourselves kept. You and your families are kept better.
So on the sheet, that means that harvest result regular?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Kendric, we need to also roll for your surprise. When you check for childbirth, you will also need to check for childbirth a second time.
Gotcha.
Whether well, I shouldn't say second time. You'll have to choose whether or not you're trying to have kids with your wife, and then you'll need to check to see if you did with the girl you stashed in the Dairy Islands.
Right. Yeah.
If the answer is yes, there's going to be another solo scenario for you that will be even less pleasant.
Yeah.
I guess I paid my junglers before they died.
Yes, you did. I believe you were even told, make sure to pay them well. Tell them to spend it quickly. There we go. It wasn't updating.
That's
Okay, so that will give me...
Yeah, talk through your results here, guys, because all people know is that you guys are tipping.
So I got fucking maximum investment income.
Nice.
Yeah, I got two from my apiary, 2 from my fish pond, 6 from my dairy herd. Unfortunately, the orchard takes a while to grow. So it's just an expense right now. But
so we're being kept as regular knights, but can I still spend the extra from my treasury to make sure my family is kept superlative?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm also going. So would spending that money would not increase the second roll, right? The bastard roll. It would just increase because spending the extra spending the extra money increases your chances on a childhood roll to have children,
childbirth, and it will also increase child survival as well. It'll do all the normal things if you spend.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Is it shouldn't on the second roll because the person that Kendric possibly fathered a child on is not benefiting from him spending the extra money to live.
Oh, we don't know about that yet. Let's see if they have the child first, and we'll go.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is if I spend the money to live superlatively, will I still get the bonus on the childbirth roll?
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying is that I shouldn't, because that person like the idea behind the bonus is that it's easier to have a child when you are well fed, taken care of, have a good place to live, right? But
so the thing is the role isn't just taking care of your family.
I mean, I guess
Christmas time, it represents how you live throughout the year, including when you were in the war camp.
Okay. Sure.
So
it sounds like you really don't want them to succeed on this.
No. I disagree with the assert. And I mean, granted, we never established who it was that Kendrick's
dalliance was with. It won't matter until the roll. But you know what? You seem like you're very set on this.
Well, it's just
I don't need the drama of it. So if you don't want to add the modifier, I'm not going to make you.
I'm just saying verisimilitude says that I don't.
Sure.
Like, unless this person was a knight's wife who lived superlatively that year, they would not get the superlative bonus.
Living riches +2 expense. Is that correct?
Plus living riches +3. Sorry.
+3.
Yep, and +6 for living.
Yes, +3 to move up each one.
Superlative. So I'm not going to try and have children this year. I think that between the deployment to Cornwall and then being told to stay at Terrabil, I don't think. I mean, even though the wife was there for the wedding, I don't think that it's been a year where we've really tried for children.
Okay.
Can we build things this year or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Your wives all can act as stewards for you back home and direct your building projects. I believe you also need to do your wives' skill ups, just in case anyone forgot that part.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So
they get older too.
up. Buy goes up. Industry goes up.
Everything I'm building builds. So I'm building a bower, an ornamental garden, and a salt evaporator.
Is there something cheap that I can build? Don't have that much. I'm not rich like you guys.
Have you built a fish pond?
I have not built a fish pond.
That's a good one.
Seems legit.
I might build a vineyard.
Ooh, wine.
Well, the problem with vineyards is that they cost money, but they make no money for the first 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The idea being that, but if you build a vineyard and then you subsequently build a winery, if you have a vineyard, you ignore the winery's maintenance cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to plant a vineyard. Yeah, okay, that's how it is built.
I am able to build a fish pond.
All right. So what was it again to roll for the wife's skills?
Up to 15, it goes automatically, and then
15 upwards. So you roll a d6, so it only goes up on a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does her stewardship? Yes, it does. Amazing. All right. Did you guys already roll for children?
I have no. I opted not to.
Okay.
I am also opting not to.
And it's +5 for superlative.
It's plus 6.
+6. Okay, well, it's a 22. So Kendric and his wife are having kids.
That's a funny orchard.
Yes, but tell me about the other one.
Kendric is also having a second kid, I believe. Let me double check.
So,
sorry, it's +5 on the childbirth. Yes.
Yeah, childbirth.
I thought you were asking how much money.
So Kendric, when you have time, I'd like to do a little scene with you at Terrible.
Okay.
You are approached by a young woman who you think you vaguely recognize from one night. Hayden definitely recognizes her for sure and confirms that you absolutely slept with this woman. She is obviously pregnant when she approaches you. And has a quiet conversation with you about what you would like to do.
Okay.
She recognizes, I think a key point is she recognizes that she's not your lawful wife.
Yes.
And even if she was, you're Druish. So, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean as much as if you were a Christian knight.
What is her station?
Milkmaid.
Okay. Okay. Does she
temporarily became a camp follower, you know, for
Yes.
the cash because it was
Sure.
premium money.
Does she have a husband?
No.
Okay. I think the best thing for you to do is to find yourself someone who will settle down with you and raise this child. And what's her reaction to that?
She's gonna want a fat stack of cash.
Yeah.
You know,
so
to make that happen, like, I mean,
I will, of course, provide you with some financial support, but you stay here in Terrabil. You never come find me again. This child is yours, and the father is unknown.
How much are you providing her with?
I will give her £10.
Okay, that's pretty considerable.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally the production of my entire manor for a year.
Yeah, but this has to last her the entire life of having and raising a child, you know.
And I think so. We're garrisoned here for the entire year, right?
You're not sure how long you'll be garrisoned here for.
Okay,
but we are garrisoned
here, yeah, yes, through for some time. So I would like to attempt to, essentially arrange, you know, a good match for her among the peasantry here in.
Love match Kendric here. Very well.
I mean, this is a knight's responsibility on his own manor.
I agree. Are you making any attempt to hide this?
Because
knights talk and knights have wives, and this could get back to your wife.
Yeah, so he's not going to. Yeah, he's not like. Yeah, I mean, yes, that like he's not going to. He's not going to like announce that he has a bastard. He is going to quietly attempt to find this person a partner that will be good for them and be able to and like, you know, she's a milkmaid. He looks for a dairy farmer, you know, to see if there is a suitable place for her to live out the rest of her life.
I'd like for it to be romance, but I also don't think that's appropriate. So I wonder if the role is awareness to seek and find.
Could I pitch to you
a skill you're good at?
Yeah. Could I pitch to you just as this is like it's basically a justice event?
It's not a skill though, it's a trait.
It's a trait. That's fine.
I'm in skill territory right now.
Okay.
I mean, if I was going to make you roll a trait, it would be deceitful for sure.
Sure.
But I'm not.
Courtesy then, perhaps?
I think if you're doing courtesy, it can't be a peasant. It would have to be like a squire or an esquire or like a hedge knight or some sort of like man-at-arms.
Sure. I mean,
now failing this will have consequences. Like, if you fail this, it will get out for sure that you are attempting to get her hooked up. Okay.
Could I attempt a love of family passion?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Would love a critical fumble on this one.
Hey.
Oh,
got it,
buddy.
I believe it lowers by 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, let me go to the I'm sorry. That was an unjust worthy. Okay, so lose 1 point of passion and you are melancholy afterwards. That said, you still make the roll before sending your girlfriend away.
Success.
Okay. You speak quietly with the young men at court who are unattached and find someone, a young knight, perhaps, or probably someone like a failed squire, someone who's like 22 and still hasn't made it and is looking to get out the business. You're handing over a considerable chunk of change. The two of you could be set aside. You have a quiet conversation about what a big favor it would be to do this for you and to never talk to you again. And to some extent, this squire would like access to, you know, like the kind of circles you ran in when you were part of the Young Wolves. So like they just kind of want an introduction to the leadership of Tintagel and Terrible, sorry, because that's what you're saying.
Gotcha,
right?
yeah.
Like he needs a job here, essentially, and wants to move up in the world. And you know, that's part of the courtesy role, is that you nail him a nice position. He takes your girlfriend one night stand off of your hands. There's no romance between these two. They're not lovebirds. This is a purely financial transaction that gives both of them, you know, something to look forward to, gives them a family that they haven't otherwise found so far. It's a little odd, it's a little weird, and it certainly happens every day in the Isle of Britain. Something weird like this. Somewhere down the line, someone might write a play about this.
Mm-hmm.
Will the bastard of Kendric ever come up again? Almost certainly, because I'm an evil person. But they probably won't come up until after they're born.
My dice love giving AP ammunition.
All right. Where did we leave off? Childbirth rolls, right?
Yep.
All right. Let me go analyze this document. You all decided how you were raising your level of living?
Yes.
Well, and I think they both are not having kids this year.
Right, and all my kids survived.
Excellent.
Now, I need to roll that for mine as well.
You only need to roll for your children, not this new kid.
My children are ill, but my child is ill but survives, and they are.
You do always roll for your children born that year, but unless you take it.
Well, I think AP is GM fiating it. Yeah.
Yes, they're taking care of this.
And then it's I think a third son. Even is boy, right?
Even's boy, odds girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I have my third son.
Okay, I'd like everyone to roll a d20, please.
16.
That's a 5.
No event.
14.
Okay, so 5 is marriage in the family. And your boy, Glimo, please roll another d20. Marriage in the family, whoever got the 5 spoon.
Yeah, me.
You can select a family member to get married.
Okay. I think I will select one of my cousins. Idwal will get married this year. He is one of my knights.
Glimo, how are we doing on that second d20?
10.
Do you have any brothers?
I do not. I am
Roll
an
again.
only child.
I feel like there might be a bunch of roll against, so.
$13. Sister.
You
That
have a
doesn't-
sister.
No. I'm
You know
an
what?
only child.
Do you have any uncles?
I do have uncles.
Kind of past tense. You did have an uncle. Please select one. They are lost to us.
I will say that Daz is now missing.
Training
Dead.
and practice. Friends, you can choose to do one of the following 3 things. Gain 1d6 plus 1 in skills up to a maximum of 15. Or gain 1 point in a skill up to a maximum of 20. Or improve 1 attribute, trait, or passion by 1, which cannot be increased over 20.
I rolled the d6 and got a 1.
Rough.
I see,
I did
James.
say-
I
I
understand
did say
you're
I
a
was gonna
Blood
do
Bowl
it.
player, though, so.
And put all those points into orate. That's what I said I was going to do. And that's what I'm doing.
I get 5 points.
Uh,
I am going to put 4 of them into orate.
While Spoon is making his decisions, I want to imagine, because he had melancholy, that there are just scenes of him walking to the exact same window where Yurig was pushed out of, just staring down into the now compacted snow. Like, it's been a few days, so there's no sign, but he just stares down as he leans his head out the window, looking down there for hours at a time, thinking about the betrayal of his wife. Sorry, how he betrayed his wife. Let me be more clear in my language.
yeah. I'm going to put my point into love family. because
You're working on yourself. You're working on yourself
well,
privately.
you know,
It's
dice rolls aside. Kendric loves his wife.
it's a difficult and private time for us. We're going to therapy. We're working through things. We ask that the jonglers stay out of it. Speaking of which, did you hire another round of?
No,
Okay.
no.
That's too bad. I really liked having,
I enjoyed them as well, but I feel like after 2 sets of jonglers died under suspicious circumstances, no one would probably come want Herawd to be their patron.
You got to let the heat cool off for a little while.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I was considering patronizing jonglers not for the intrigue purposes, but just because my hobbies are writing and singing,
composing,
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put 3 points into orate, 1 into recognize, and 1 into fairy lore.
So is your fairy lore a 3 now?
It is a 3 now.
Let's talk about glory for the year. BigSpoon,
Yes.
you receive 180 glory for being at the Battle of Terrabil.
Nice.
You receive 250 glory for killing Duke Gorlo. Receive 250 glory for being in the vanguard for attacking the castle. You receive 10 glory for slaying Elliston. And you receive 4 glory for killing a footman.
So any glory for the are you doing individual stuff first? Or is that
I'm
like
doing
for
the individual stuff
funeral?
first.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm waiting until Spoon has confirmed that he's got it all in before I get to the next part.
I've got it all written down. I'm inputting into my sheet now.
All of you receive 50 glory for the funeral and 50 glory for the wedding. Which is going to make a great play this year, a funeral and a wedding. You like that one, Spoon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uther paid to have it commissioned himself.
Yeah.
You, of course, get money for conspicuous consumption, glory paid, and then any other glory bonuses you might get, like Religious Night, etc., etc. Glory bonuses for that as well. If you exceed 1,000, you get to do your Bing Bang Boom. I would like to know what our new glory totals are. I'm gonna bet that Spoon has probably pulled way out in front.
Jump back ahead. Yeah, so I'm at 3857.
I was gonna say I'm not sure I'll pull ahead of.
I mean, you picked up almost 1,000 glory by yourself this year.
No, I picked up about 850.
I don't know if you've heard, but you round up. That's about 1,000 glory.
Well, can I round up to 1,000 glory then?
No.
Yeah,
but
that's what I thought.
I could do the Kessel run in 12 parsecs.
2586.
Okay. Getting close to crossing that line for the next 1,000.
Here's the unfortunate part. I think I'm going to be just short of fucking crossing. Well, no, I guess annual glory might put me over. Yeah, annual glory is definitely going to put me over. So I am into. Let's see. So I will definitely be over into 4,000 with my annual glory. Let me just do that real quick. So, because I got another couple things up to 16 this time. So I have to recalculate what my. So.
Well, how do the other two of you feel about this year?
Oh, it's obviously an important year. I managed to dodge involvement in anything relevant to the year, but it's still a very important year. So
it was wild.
You killed a man, Glimo.
Just to watch him die.
Herawd is very glad we're in the land before chivalry.
I have a proposal for one of you two gentlemen.
Okay.
So because I've built a vineyard, so in 3 years' time I will be able to produce grapes. I don't want to build a winery because it gives you an indulgent check, which is against my religion, but I think it's pro your religion. So I am proposing that I will pay in 3 years' time to build a winery in one of your estates, and we split the profits. and I'll just transfer my grapes to your winery so that you don't pay any maintenance.
Okay, just to be clear, James has just CEO'd his way onto the show. It's fucking credible.
I will give you first crack at this, Sir Herawd.
Herawd would be all about it. He likes the drink.
What is the name of the wine when it's bottled?
Well, it's 3 years away.
I want to know what the potential label is now.
But to give them some time to think about that.
Missing Yongler.
Missing Yongler. Nice. My annual glory puts me up to 4,033.
Wow.
And I'm going to use that glory point to regain the point of dex that I lost.
Ah, interesting. I didn't know if you were going to put it in Love of Family.
No, not yet.
I've also decided that because I spent the whole year trying to work out what to rhyme with orange, my orchard I've planted is an orange orchard.
Amazing.
Do oranges grow in the natural British climate?
No, but neither do olives. And Sir Lancelot finds an olive.
Well, Sir Lancelot is French, so,
Well, but he finds it in Britain.
Well,
he finds an olive branch in Britain. So
also in Britain, Muslims appear hundreds of years before the religion is founded. So
oranges and oranges, lemons, limes can all be grown
in the local climate. Very well.
Yep, there you go.
You've got a sick orange farm made out of
you got to use a greenhouse. Sorry, no, it says that's you grow it in a greenhouse. So
unfortunate.
Yeah. Anyway,
can I sell you on apples?
Yep, that's fine.
In the words of the greatest pirate captain ever, apple.
Apple.
Buy
a whole bushel of apples.
A bushel of nice, juicy apples. Well, we've reached the end of the episode, friends, and the end of year 491. Uther truly is at his worst in this episode. I feel like the Excalibur movie and the story of Uther really just does not do enough to emphasize that Uther is absolutely the villain of this part. That he's a bad, bad guy who uses magic to do bad things.
Yep.
Can confirm.
That's the moral of the story, guys, is don't use magic. Use physics.
Well, if you do, don't do bad things with it.
No, just don't use magic. Use physics. That's the real magic.
Well, any technology advanced far enough will look like magic anyway.
Yeah, okay, Arthur C. Clarke. Well, you know what? That's something a guy said. That doesn't make it true. Just because it appears in the opening movie of XCOM, but not XCOM Enemy Unknown expansion, doesn't make it true. Are we good for next week?
Yep.
As far as I know.
Well. Glimo, I'm going to give you an option to do an outro, since I know you're a big fan of those.
I'm Glimo. I don't think I've got anything big going on right now, but you can find me in Arthur's Discord. Heard rumor that there's a new Sea of Thieves adventure out. Not played it yet. Maybe I'll get around to it. Maybe I won't. Season 9 is approaching burnout territory.
I'm really having to resist. It's tough. It's tough because I've done it too much and it's too easy. The fruit is low hanging, like greenhouse orange.
No, this was a good episode. This was a wild, like, Glimo or Sir Herawd, like, throwing Sir Uric off of the battlements of Terrabil was wild.
For the good of the kingdom.
For the good of the kingdom.
For the good of the kingdom.
For the peace of the kingdom.
Like, so, man, it was it's a good year.
I think it was definitely a Kendric-centric episode, though, because almost half of it was you fighting.
Yeah.
But we did get Herawd breaking into the castle and being like, what can we do inside? Give me ideas. And they're just like,
you are the boss of us.
I really thought that I would have more once I got there, but I was just drawing a huge blank once I got inside.
Herawd shows up. He's like, all right, guys, look, we're an industry disruptor here. The industry that we're disrupting is the walls of this castle. This is engineering-driven innovation solution. Cut any corners that you need to. Throw out whatever you got. Workshop with me. How can we synergize? And they're all just looking at you with their mouths open, giving you the sharp
I really
Pikachu
just thought
face.
that, like, more was going to happen when I got in there. You know, like there would be something for me to interact with, and there
was. You entered the castle with Duke Orlo. What more do you want me to have? You interacted with the main character.
before all that happened, like my thought was, oh, okay, I'm gonna go in and like my guys are gonna have been rabble rousing. I'll have like a band of peasants that we can.
No, I'm sorry. Their loyalties are tight. It's literally one of the things that they describe about Gorlo is that all of his people are intensely loyal to him.
Because he's a good guy.
Well, he's definitely not the bad guy. Is he a good guy? He's got serfs, so.
But I enjoyed it, and I'm the one who has not played this before, so it was fun and surprising. So I enjoyed it.
I like how Kendric managed to survive right up until the final round of the battle. They just got fucking obliterated.
Yeah,
well, I mean, he kept knocking up a notch. And I love the fact that you literally like. From memory, like read literally from the book where it's like, he has a sword skill of 33. Are you sure you want to do this?
It says to say that.
Yeah, of course I do. Like he just killed the dude that I was like, this guy's going to be the leader of the kingdom in like 10 years.
Look, people ask me if I'm going to run this like it's from the book, and I feel like my track record so far has literally I literally read it directly out of the book.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I do make some wild ass solo adventures and introduce non-canon characters, etc., but overall, we're running the Great Pendragon campaign, so much so that the name of the campaign is the Great Pendragon campaign.
And like I have really enjoyed, like, the big stuff obviously is going to stay the same, but I've enjoyed moments like Sir Yurik the Coney Eater going over the edge of the balcony. And Elliston and Sir Blaine's, which is dead now, I guess.
Oh yeah, he's 100% dead.
Sir Jaredon, however, showed back up this episode, did he not?
Yeah.
Yep.
No one bothered talking to him though.
Well, I mean, I'm not his handler. or I guess.
I felt like I had already done 3 things, and I wasn't gonna like make it the all Herawd show.
So, but yeah.
I guess we'll find out at a later date whether he did or did not marry that girl whose father he brutally murdered.
Oh man, you mean the daughter of Sir Hewa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's like, wow, she's really a gateway to moving up in the world. That's what you really want out of a wife.
We would definitely don't want Jaredon to marry her.
Well, friends, that's our time together. We'll return next week. I've got something like 4 more shows in the next 48 hours, so let's bing bam boom them out there. Yeah, it's my second show today as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. On top of that,
we organized Blood Bowl for you too, as well, Arthur.
Oh well,
let's just just go ahead and do it right now.
I'm taking the kids to the zoo. Sorry.
Okay.
Make sure not to lose your lunchbox in the primate area. Wow, that's a reference nobody's gonna get
that reference.
Oh, all right. That's it, friends. Have a good time zone. What? Is that the goodbye screen? That's crazy.